Happy New Year, everyone. It's a cold, kind of snowy day here, but things are off to an okay start, except for I've had kind of a calamity with my egg flock. It's been ongoing. It's not a New Year's thing. We lost probably 15 birds in the last couple weeks due to predation. Birds that we put a lot of time and effort into, and it's, you know, obviously a sad thing. And it makes it even sadder because it's a lot of my fault. Bad planning, bad infrastructure, laziness. So hopefully people can see what I did wrong and improve upon it if they're going to do their own flocks in the way I do, which is like raising birds outside so they can enjoy life. If you keep them in a coop and run, you're not going to have this problem because predators can't get in there. But I didn't do that. So I'm going to go over my fencing issues, which are weak. I have fencing that's kind of fallen over. It's not electrified because it's in contact with the ground all over the place. I'll go over coop issues and some things I'm doing wrong there. I will go over not training my birds properly. A couple birds roost in a tree every night. They're safer than the ones that got killed last night, which were sleeping on the ground. But you know, it's still not ideal. They should be going into the coop. And then, you know, we'll talk about what killed them and how to avoid it, or at least mitigate it. Well, I guess we can talk about what killed them right now. I think it was a coyote or a fox. There's lots of dog prints on the ground. They're my dogs, but these little ones are probably a fox or a really small coyote. Comes in at night and takes advantage of chickens that don't go to bed on time. So they have this whole area here, you know, and their coop's right there, right there. So, you know, their little chicken brain just doesn't say, hey, I probably shouldn't sleep outside on the ground when everything in the world eats chicken. So the majority of them do go to bed on time, but some of them don't. Last night I walked around, I just didn't do a good enough job. I picked up one, Growly is her name. Shouldn't even lay eggs, she's an old chicken. But I put her in the coop and I didn't notice that three of her buddies, three very productive hens, were sleeping on the ground because they just decided not to go to bed that night. So, you know, anyway, we'll go over the details, the potential fixes, and what I'm going to do better in the coming year to not lose chickens that I put a lot of time and effort into. And obviously it's sad, right? I'm responsible for their well-being. When they die due to my mistakes, you know, I feel bad about it. So I want to reduce all the problems and, you know, and increase my egg production because I eat a lot of eggs. And each time a chicken who probably has 200 or 300 eggs a year in production for me gets not even eaten, just killed. You know, that's the other thing with these foxes, and you know, sometimes they'll kill 4 birds and only carry 1 off, so they're very wasteful. So, and I could come out here and sit out all night and try and shoot the predator, but I don't want to do that. It's 20 degrees. You know, I wish the fox would just come sit in front of my door when it's nice and warm and sunny, but he's not going to do that. So anyway, I can't do much about the hawks. I lose some birds to hawks and owls. Can't do too much about them. They come in the day. But the things that come at night, when my birds should be locked up and protected, that's something I can do something about. So let's talk about fixing it. Here's where I found one of the birds. So he was drug away, or she rather, was drug away a good distance from their area, which is over here behind this poultry net. This poultry net is not electrified, and it's not electrifiable in any reasonable way because it contacts the ground all over the place. And I have 4 strands of it here, so this is like a 400 plus, almost 500 feet perimeter. It's not reasonable for me to electrify that with like a Premier One solar charger. It just wouldn't work. It wouldn't carry a charge. So what I need to do, oh, see, this is where, so last night these chickens apparently didn't go into the coop like they should have and bedded down along the fence. I don't know why they did that, but then whatever the predator was, there's little prints here. Let's see if I can find one. Nah, they probably won't show up anyway. These bigger prints are my dogs. because they were very interested in this pile of feathers this morning. And there's the birds, but this coop is where they should be going at night. And I should walk this every night to make sure everybody goes to bed. Last night I didn't, and now I paid the price because I lost some really good egg layers that I've pumped money and time into, you know, growing up. But things I could do better. I could run a single hot wire around the outside of this, and that would be energizable, and it would allow me, it would carry a charge, and it would keep ground-based predators out. So I think I may do that. But the ground's frozen solid. What am I going to do? Pound fence posts in, like step-in posts? Because they're not really going to step in very well. So that's what I could have, should have done. Another thing that could have been better is my guard pig. I didn't really get him as a guard pig, but I do expect him to serve in that capacity. And what's he do all day? He sleeps. Huh? Isn't that right, buddy? Not guard pigging at all. Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. You let them chickens get murdered last night? Little piggy guilt? You feel bad about yourself? Probably not. So, guard pig doesn't work. Alright, I have the coop parked relatively close to this wood lot where Kronk runs around and the chickens run around in there too. But the door has a photo sensor on it and opens and closes based on the amount of available light. It would be better for me if this stayed open as long as possible. So the sun sets over there, and I have the photo sensor facing away from the setting sun, which means it's darker on the sensor earlier. So I should turn this coop to face the setting sun so that I get as much open door as possible and the chickens have maximum time to go to bed if they're late. That's another thing I should have done better and didn't. That's an easy fix, except for that thing's a pain to move by hand. I might try it anyway. It's on a little bit of a hill. Hopefully it doesn't go rolling down. Sorry about all the notifications coming through there. And then the last thing I could have done better is to train my chickens. So you need to train your chickens to use the coop. But we had some new ones and life got in the way and I did not properly train them. So my one remaining rooster, that first chicken slaughter event, I lost 2 roosters to include Mr. Blood. I do have 1 rooster left and he's friendly. He was supposed to be a hen. We can see him right there through the sticks. He was supposed to be a hen, but he's not. He's a rooster. So he likes to sleep in that tree. And he's taught several ladies to sleep with him in the tree. So they get up there every night, higher than I can reach, and I'm not climbing that old pine tree to get them down. So they should be going to bed. And if the rooster was going to bed, maybe he would call the hens to go to the coop as well. I will never know because this rooster is probably at this point untrainable. So my flock of like 25 chickens has been reduced to this. I might have what, 10, 11, 12 maybe left. One wandering around over there. And I've lost some of the best ones, which is very unfortunate and sad. But we're going to do things better. We're going to try and protect these guys as best as possible. I will be much more diligent walking around at night to make sure they went to bed. And if they're not in bed, I'll pick them up and put them in. And hopefully I don't have any more chicken murder, because I like eggs. I ate a lot of them, huh? I haven't gotten a duck egg in forever. I don't know where they're laying. Kronk's probably eating them all. But I used to have like 20 ducks too. And owls were the problem there. So hopefully you guys are able to see what I'm doing wrong here and avoid it with your flocks and keep your birds alive. So I got a whole year now to figure out a better way to do chickens. I think I'm going to go back to moving them around. I don't really want to do that. I like them in here with the pig. And I like having them in the same spot. It makes infrastructure so much easier. I can just move that coop around so that manure doesn't gather. But within this permanent fence, we're going to do permanent fencing here. And I think that will improve things. But we can't do it till the ground's not frozen. Tanya wanted me to do it for quite a while now. And I just didn't do it. Other things got in the way. But I will get a, welded wire fence around there with T-posts. And that should make it much harder for a fox to pull a chicken through. And hopefully it'll keep them alive. And then I'll make sure they go to bed on time. Because I've done a lot of things. I've wasted a lot of time and money. And now I'm losing chickens. And that ain't no good. So that's that. Hopefully I don't lose any more. Hopefully I get some more eggs. And walking around here, I see a lot of weak spots where an animal could easily get in there and mess up my birds. But again, the ground's frozen solid. So not a lot I can do till it warms up a little. So I'm stuck here in some of my other fencing that failed. See if we can get it here. Nope, not gonna happen. Anyway, my feet are stuck in fence right now. Have a great day. Have a great New Year. That's what my feet were stuck in. That's the Premier One poultry, or not poultry, quick pig fence. It was a good idea until it wasn't. It's kind of cheap, and it's not expensive either. So cheaply made and cheaply purchased. It was supposed to contain cronk. He just shreds it. It carries a good charge, but it also is so flimsy that, you know, anything can cause it to be a problem. I should not have it balled up on my ground where my feet get stuck in it, so I'll fix that too.